Hi everyone, it's Hannah here. Welcome to our Q&A Monday as usual. Today, as you guys probably, when you are friend me on Facebook, you guys can probably see, I just came back from Cornwall from this weekend, and I had a really good experience. It's just like, my ghost stories. And on the way, I arrived in London a bit later than expected, because there were cows on the railway. So that was quite funny journey. But yeah, let's do it. It's still 5 p.m. and we get started on time. Okay, so today's topic is about how to make yourself deserve business owners' tax benefits. As we can see, it's still around the topic of IR35. I know we covered this topic a few weeks ago. By the way, my cleaner is in the house. I hope she's not going to break the door and then we all have a good laugh. Okay, so I know we talked about this topic before, but today the reason why I bring up is still it's quite a lot of clients are still inquiring this, and currently it's just a lot of agency or the trust, they sort of update people quite. It's just as far as I feel, it's quite last minute. There are clients calling me up saying they are really frustrated that they've been told they're inside IR35, or even the agency calling up of them saying you have to go umbrella, you have to go PAYE, that's the only option. And there are people, it's lots of information there, and different people actually sort of have a different opinion. Agency, of course, they have their own perspective, and as well as us, like accountants, of course, we have our own perspective as well. Agency, probably they don't know much about it, but depends on different agencies. But mostly because it's a new legislation, and people like the trust, they probably just want to comply and they just don't want to take the risks. So they probably just push everyone, say everyone is on the PAYE or everyone goes to umbrella company. That's what they want. Well, that's just they don't want to take any risks. But the fact is, it's not the end of the world. As far as I can see, I've been communicating with different clients. There are still possibility that agencies are happy to put you through the limit company and pay you gross. And there are options out there to help you still deserve the kind of tax benefits you used to have. But today, I think with this sort of legislation change, I think that's really not a disaster. I think it's really the time that you look out what's your career perspective. Along this holiday, actually, it's a very valuable time. I've been spending a lot of time thinking. I was thinking this whole IR35 thing, basically they want to catch the employee in disguise. The employees who are supposed to be paid by PAYE, but they want to have the tax benefits. But then, as I was trying to think, actually there's a really simple term to explain IR35 when it comes to inside or outside IR35. So if you're the boss, you are outside IR35 because you are the proper business owner. So you are the boss. But if you're not a boss, if you're being bossed, then you are inside IR35. So, it's actually quite straightforward way to understand what does that mean. So either you are being the boss or you're being bossed. So just really look at what the real situations are, or are you willing to be the real boss of yourself? So that's a good question. Okay, so today we just showed a few steps. Later on, by the way, we will release later on this week our IR35 aid kits, but it's probably make more sense after you watch this episode. So we'll explain how to use it, how to make the best of it. Okay, so I presume the first step for you to consider when you want to have the tax benefits as a business owner, you need to question yourself, are you really a business owner in your mind? Are you really a boss here? Do you think yourself a boss, or you are being told what to do, or you are being bossed? So what would you rather? Actually, that was when I started my business a few years ago. And I also learned quite a lot, like philosophy about tax from Rich Dad's Accountant. If you guys, probably I'll show you a little simple thing. It's a quadrant. Probably some of you have heard about it. That's a famous cash flow quadrant, and then it basically simply explains like different quadrant how they earn money. So I think the reason why it's told this way, I think it's from your side because it's a mirror inside, so it's easier for you to see. But let's see what's the filming look like later on. If that's the opposite way runs, please let me know. I have a backup. Okay, so basically, if you have read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you probably know about the 4 quadrants. So we have employee and self-employed or small business owners. But on this side, we have business owners, that's proper business owners, and investors. So if we say these two are both working for themselves, but then what are the difference is these ones, self-employed, they basically selling their time. They've been paid by their time. If they're working, then they get paid. But if they're on vacation, their income is on vacation as well. But this one, they have a system. They have people working for them, and they have liquid jobs. So basically, they are taking more risks than this one. But then, the fundamental difference of this is when business owners, they take on vacation, then their income probably not stopped. And investors, they have money working hard for them. So one, they have people working for them. The other one, they have money working hard for them. So the reason why I distinguish them with 2 different colors, like the red one, so E and S, basically their earning potential, they always have the ceiling. And E and S, in our UK tax term, they pay 40 to 50% of the tax. So basically on this side, they probably have a limit of their earning potential, and they pay loads of tax. But this side, business owner, they have people working hard for them, and investors, they have money working hard for them. So they are the boss of their people or their money. So this side in red, so they are basically being bossed, and the other side is they are the boss. So as we can see, it's the fundamental difference between someone is employee and someone is genuinely provide like a business service. So I think it's really, when we say how to distinguish like inside or outside IR35, it's really one is being bossed and the other one is a boss. So it's just to really ask yourself, would you rather be the proper business owner, be the boss, or you rather stay comfortable and stay in a job which is stable and then just get a paycheck, just go to work and doing what's being told to do and being controlled? So what would you rather? If you really want to have the tax benefits that as a business owner, you really think differently. You really need to have a boss mentality. I think it's also these words actually very aligned with like HMRC's term is control. So if you're being bossed, then you're being controlled by your end client. So they will tell you the work schedule, and they will enforce you to be on certain date, be in certain place on certain date, and do certain things. And they can move you around the projects without you agree with them. But then for people who are a boss, it doesn't necessarily say you have to dominate, being like a dominant character or being like a boss. Of course, you will need to respect your end clients, but then it's more in terms of how the work is done and where and when to work. It's more of a mutual agreement. So you are in control of what you are doing. Especially some like highly skilled doctors, perhaps it's really what you're doing, and you rather have less control of how the work is done. And as long as you provide the kind of end client the results, then yeah, that's a fundamental thing. So really see if you rather be the like being told what to do. Of course, there's nothing wrong of someone just want to be stable and stay in a secure job, have the sort of security, because being the boss is also risks as well. It can be perhaps the end client can delay your pay because you have the financial risks, as well as perhaps the position, the job post is not stable at all. You might work for this hospital, for this practice, like on Tuesday, and it's never guaranteed you're gonna come back tomorrow or next week. So there's a risk, and also bosses take responsibilities. If you're an employee, if you do something wrong, then you probably don't have to put it right. Or if you have to put it right and if you run overtime, then employer has to pay you overtime. But if you're the supplier, if you're a business owner, if you're the boss, you have to take the responsibility. If you do something wrong, you have to correct it, put it right at your own expense. So it's really, as we can see, there's a distinction between employee and the boss. So you just really ask yourself, of course, it's great to have the tax benefits as a boss, but then are you willing to take the risks? Are you willing to take the responsibility? So it's really ask yourself. I think by having this awareness of a mentality, I think the rest will be simple. Of course, if we bring back these 4 quadrants, if you rather be here and have a stable job and you have enough, if you work out, even after PAYE, you have enough to support yourself, your family, and to support your future, then that's great. Being an employee, you probably have the benefits as employee. As said, you don't have to take the risks, and you don't really have to take the responsibility. Like, when you do something wrong, you probably don't have to put it right. Or if you run overtime, you do it and run overtime, then the employer has to pay you. And also you have the holiday pay and sick pay, all these things. But then, if you think I rather be here. So it's time to really look at yourself. Are you really here? Are you really moving here? Or if you say perhaps for now I just rather go PAYE, but then in the future I might want to boost my finances by having the investment property, then you can think of going here. So I think the reason why I have these two and these two in different color, as we can see, of course we explained earlier on, these two have a ceiling in their earning potential, and then they pay loads of tax. But these two, they are taking more risks, but then they have more freedom as well. And there's no ceiling for them to earn more money. So their earning potential is unlimited. But then you're going to take the risks. You're going to take the responsibility. And of course, by the rewards, these two, they do have more tax breaks than these two. Okay, so really ask yourself this question. Don't have to rush it. But then if you get the mentality right, the rest is simple. Okay, so today, if we say the topic is about how to make yourself deserve the kind of tax benefit as a business owner, we're going to focus on the people who want to be this, okay? So if you want to be this, if you think currently your work engagement is more of a business owner work engagement, but then you find hard to get around of your end client and your agency because they want to push everyone on PAYE because they don't want to take risks. But if you believe, either after taking the test or you have your contract reviewed, or if you believe by nature of your the way you provide the work, you are being controlled. It's like you're more in control of your own work rather than being controlled. So it's a good place to be that really gets your contract, your work arrangement, get it legal, or especially if you think you are able to negotiate your work contract and make it for outside IR35, get it legal. Again, this is the area like legal, IR35, contract clause. This is not area we are covering as accountants, but they are IR35 legal specialists who are able to look into contract clause and really even most of them can negotiate with your agency or your trust on your behalf. So go to this specialist. So after you've done your mentality thing, and the second step, that is look into one of these specialists, get some safeguards, get some documentation in place, and get some reassurance as well. So in our IR35 8 kit, which we'll release later on this week, so we'll put a few of the directory. Our team has done quite a few research last few weeks, because we know you guys are frustrated about this. We just want to put together something that can help you as much as possible. So it's not a perfect thing, but we'll put in our Facebook group. And then if you do have any suggestions after seeing that, feel free to let me know, because if you do say you know there's a legal provider, they provide good service and they are not on the list, do let me know, because they may help other people as well. So yeah, that's something we'll release later on this week. So yeah, go to one of the specialists, or even some of them, they can, when HMRC come to investigate you, they are able to speak on your behalf as well. So these are the specialists who are able to negotiate on your behalf. That's the important part. If you say you don't mind that you take the risks, you don't mind that you take the responsibility, and ask them for help, get a legal contract right. So do seek out for some of these specialists. Okay, so after you've done that, get it legal, and the next step is get insured. There are IR35 investigation insurance out there. This is just to give you another safety net. After get it legal, get it insured, just in case the revenue comes to investigate you, if they hand you the penalty or something. Some of the insurance can really cover this. It might be different, but do speak to them. Again, some of the providers will be on our 8 kit, and their contact details and their website. Do look out for them. As far as I know, most of the insurance, like a tax investigation insurance, it's very inexpensive to get, so it's always worth getting it. Even if you are running a proper business, it's still worth getting insured by this tax investigation insurance. There are providers out there as well, but it depends on the nature of the business. But especially specific for contractors, freelancers, you do have the IR35 insurance. So do seek out for that. That's another safety net. So I hope that's getting it legal and get insured. That will give you sort of more reassurance that you can still get a tax benefit, like employ your wife, your spouse in the business, or have all the tax deductions as a business owner. So really get it, yeah. We don't want to, of course, you are willing to take the risks, but we don't really want to risk too much. We still want to comply and make sure you have the safety nets at the back. And the final thing, from this, as we can see, from this to this, is not a quick fix. Or even you might need to take time to really investigate which IR35 legal specialists to go for and which insurance providers to go for. That might take some time, so don't rush it. If you do, I do understand. Currently, there are agencies want to, the 6th of April is coming very soon, and agencies, they want you to make decisions, having a new contract very soon, or even some of them you already have to make decisions. So some clients, for time being, you might, if you can't get it, hard to get it around for a short period of time, then you might just say accept for time being. But then at the same time, if you do think you deserve the business owner's tax benefits, you deserve you think your contract by negotiation or by any ways, you are able to get your contract that is more for outside IR35. At the same time, do look out for other things. I would suggest, only my suggestion. So if you're looking to do this, don't rush closing down your company. There are agencies either provide locum work in private sector. Again, some like agencies, we also put in the aid kit. So there's no harm to like register, like contact them. Although, this kind of work, like sign up agency, it's not guaranteed you will get a work. But still, you probably just say your main work, you go PAYE for time being, or go umbrella for time being. But then at the same time, you want to budget somewhere for time, still doing some of this locum work and still get paid through your limited company. At the moment, private sector work is not affected yet. Or you can get some, like the agency who are able to provide a post that's more for outside IR35. Again, as far as I know, they are clients in our database that have still work for NHS, but then still get paid gross by the limited company, and it's just by nature of the post. So do seek out for these agencies or the providers. Again, we are not perfect. We're just from our research. Of course, our team has taken the time and really researched all these providers. But then, if you do have any suggestions, say you've been working with this agency, they can provide private work, and they are not on our list, then please let me know. Again, that will help other people as well. So, but of course, these are just my suggestions. If you do have any better idea, do let me know as well. But then I would say, if you do have to accept something for short time, then do. There's no risks, but then at the same time, do seek a way out, like get your contract reviewed. And if there's the possibility, you can renegotiate your contract, and at the same time getting reassured. And also seek out for some other ad hoc work, which are more of outside IR35. So please do. Then, but eventually, really ask yourself what kind of money, what kind of the take-home pay you need to get the sort of lifestyle you want and the financial freedom you want. So that's these are really the questions you need to look at. So just to recap, first of all, the step one, get your mentality right. Really ask yourself, are you willing to be the boss, or you rather be secure and rather just being the stable? I would say, because if I bring up this, I think that just this legislation change is more of being realigned with the universal rule of tax. I think these two, because they are lower risks, they probably being taken care of by their employers more. So that's probably why they have more security. That's probably why they pay more tax than this. But then these two, they are more risky. But then again, they add more value to the society as well. Like these, they provide jobs. They provide prosperity. But then it doesn't say being a contractor you have to provide job opportunity or something like that. But as I said, are you willing to take the responsibility? Are you willing to take the risks? So that's a question you need to ask yourself. And secondly, get it legal. Get a specialist to review the contract, or even find the possibility if they are able to negotiate a contract term on your behalf. And thirdly, get insured. You have nothing to lose by doing so. So look out for some IR35 insurance providers. It's really, you have nothing to lose. And the fourth thing, don't rush. Do look out for other opportunities as well. Although sometimes it's you might have to accept something for a short time, but then do look out for something else, can find a way out. And again, if that's a private sector, then it's not affected yet. So don't have to rush it, okay? But then, as said, I quite actually like this idea that the reason why I say deserve is really someone, like, if you take the responsibility or take the risks, really do it as a business owner, then yeah, you deserve the tax benefits. So So why not? If you are the proper business owner, all you want is more use your specialist, use your like expertise to add more value. Then yeah, why not? So yeah, I hope you find this useful. The reason why we bring up this topic again is really lots of people are still asking. It's still a hot topic, but again, it's this legislation is going to come into play from 6th of April, and although currently there are more and more voices raised, so keep me posted if the agency says anything, or if any of your thoughts. Do be free to comment or be free to let me know. It's a new change, but it's good to see how people has reacted and what are the situations. So we can, as said, our team is here to try to help as much as we can. All these directories, we don't get paid to build these directories. We rather, for some specialist work, we rather refer you to the specialist. But then we just try to help you as much as we can. If anything else you think we can help you better and add more value, then please do let us know. Or if you have any feedback in our episodes, please be free to let me know. Okay, so I hope you find this useful, and if you do like get the IR35 8 kit, which will be released later on this week, be free to request to join our exclusive Facebook group. It's called Tax Deductible Lifestyle Tribe. So we'll upload our files, and then again, they are like locum doctors or freelancers, contractors. They are in the group as well, so they might be able to point to the right direction. Like some providers they used, they think it's good. Then you might find help from the group. So if that's something you'd like to explore further or some more detailed guidance, then do request to join the group. Okay, so I hope you find this episode useful, and then I hope you have a nice evening. But if you do have any questions, please be free to let me know. Okay, so thank you for all the attendance and thank you for patience, and then I will see you again next Monday. Bye now.